Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to Manage It Monday, your midday motivation to optimize your food safety strategies and elevate your business operations with Rochelle Howell. Welcome back to another episode of Manage It Monday. Today's topic is one that everyone can relate to, whether you are a manufacturer or a retailer. Specifically, if you have a sandwich shop or something like a charcuterie cart, you can definitely relate. Now, the truth is, food safety isn't just about what's happening on the production floor. It's about leadership, consistency, and accountability. Today's topic is titled Why Poor Management Can Cost Lives and How to Prevent It. Because I know this sounds heavy. It is. But my goal isn't to point fingers or call anyone out. My goal is to help you see how leadership can make or break your food safety program and how you can take simple steps to avoid devastating consequences. So, grab your coffee, your lunch, a notebook, and let's jump in. When we talk about food safety, everyone wants to focus on the front lines. We're always talking about the employees handling the food and then say the inspector showing up unannounced. But the truth is, food safety starts at the top. Managers and owners are the ones who set the tone. They create the processes or approve the processes, and they ensure the paperwork is in order. Let me repeat. Food safety starts at the top. Managers and owners are the ones who set the tone, create the processes, and ensure the paperwork is in order. You could have the best employees in the world, and the business may still fail if the systems and documentation don't support them. That is what we're talking about today. How strong management can make all the difference in keeping your business safe, compliant, and thriving. Let me take you back to last year when a company as well known and respected as Boar's Head found itself at the center of a tragic Listeria outbreak. For years, Boar's Head has been synonymous with quality deli meats and cheeses. It's the name brand you see everywhere, especially in those grocery stores and delis. That is until recently. Consumers tend to think that if you make it to the grocery store, you must be doing everything right. But even a company like Boar's Head has to do the work, just like everyone else. And unfortunately, they faced a devastating crisis that no one ever imagined. It all started at their facility in Jarrett, Virginia, where Listeria contamination in liverwurst ended up causing 10 deaths and 60 hospitalizations across 19 states. Can you imagine the shock, heartbreak, not just for the families impacted, but also for the company? I mean, as someone who has worked for food corporations, this is something that you dread. You never want to be implicated in a foodborne illness outbreak. I mean, it is embarrassing. It ruins reputations, and there's a tragedy for everyone involved. But here's the thing. This wasn't just a one-off mistake. The plant had a history of inspection issues. The USDA food safety assessment highlighted numerous non-compliances that had occurred at the facility since their last assessment in 2016, with some of the key findings being incomplete documentation of issues and corrective actions. Corrective actions were either not recorded or improperly completed, making it difficult to track whether those critical hazards were addressed or resolved. They had inadequate environmental monitoring. The facility's environmental monitoring program failed to account for all potential food contact surfaces in the ready-to-eat areas. That resulted in missed surfaces during swab testing for Listeria and cleaning and sanitizing. They also noted physical facility issues like holes in walls, loose caulking, green mold, and rust. They were unable to maintain cleanable and sanitary facilities on a routine basis. Inadequate sanitation practices such as insects, dripping condensation, meat residue, even though they documented cleaning, all of these reflect a lack of adherence to both SSOPs and HACCP principles. The HACCP plan and preventive control failures, they had a written HACCP plan and they appeared to follow their food safety plan. However, they did not adequately address the listeria on certain surfaces. The environmental monitoring program, as I said before, had gaps and they didn't make sure things were done according to plan. This shows that the challenges were not due to a total lack of processes, but it definitely points to management gaps. The written processes were not being followed, and the corrective actions were not documented, and leadership wasn't following through to ensure everything was done for whatever reason. You know, we all know businesses, and somewhere the reason could be not enough employees to do all the work, or unqualified people leading the team, or laziness and other blame going around. You know how it is. Now, let me pause for a moment to say this. I'm not here to tear down Boar's head. The reality is, this could happen to any business out there. None of us are immune to blind spots or breakdowns in communication. That's why today I want to focus on what we can all learn from this situation so that we never find ourselves in a similar position as Boar's head. Now, let's break this down into actionable lessons that you can take back to your business. If there's one thing the Boar's head incident shows us, it's that food safety is about more than just rules. It's about leadership, consistency, and follow through. So let's look at this through my favorite framework: people, processes, and paperwork. Okay, so people. Management must lead by example, fostering a culture where food safety is a shared responsibility. This includes training your team to understand not just what to do, but why it matters, the what and the why. We need to assign clear roles and responsibilities for maintaining food safety at every level of the business. Okay, people. Number 2, processes. Having processes is not enough. They must be actively followed and regularly reviewed. This involves conducting internal inspections to identify and rectify potential issues. You need to update your processes based on feedback from your team and changing regulations. And then the third part is the paperwork. Accurate documentation is crucial for traceability and accountability. This is not just about checking boxes for an inspector. It's about creating a trail of accountability. Make sure your logs are accurate and complete. If you identify an issue, write it down. Make sure your team is writing it down. And if you fix it, document how and when and who fixed it. When inspectors or consultants give you feedback, incorporate their recommendations into your documentation. Review those records routinely to verify compliance. So, what are my 3 key points? Number 1, leadership drives culture. As a manager or owner, you set the tone. Your team will only take food safety as seriously as you do. So show up, care, and be serious. Number 2, processes are living documents. Your procedures should evolve as your operation changes. Make it a habit to review and improve your processes regularly. Number 3, documentation is non-negotiable. If it isn't written down, it didn't happen. As a former inspector, that's really what I believe. Clear, accurate paperwork protects your business and demonstrates your commitment to food safety. So show it, document it, write it down. Now, here's our weekly Manage It action. Take a moment to review your current food safety management practices. Are you leading by example? Are your processes up to date and actively followed? Is your documentation thorough and transparent? What are you doing? Let us know in the comments. And of course, there's a link to my basic food safety checklist to assist you with this review. All right, now we've made it to the end. Take a deep breath and remember your success as a leader doesn't come from doing everything yourself. It comes from building systems and empowering your team to follow them. Let's close with today's affirmation. Repeat after me. I am a proactive leader who fosters a culture of safety and excellence. Through diligence and commitment, I ensure the well-being of my team and customers. So remember, learn from this example. Make sure that you have a culture of leadership and accountability, and that you have processes that you're documenting, and that you can always come back and show that your team is doing what they need to do to ensure food safety. Do not, I repeat, blow things off. If your team is writing things down and documenting issues, make sure you are correcting them. If the health department comes in, USDA, FDA, the state inspectors, whoever your regulators are, make sure that you are writing down, take notes, write down everything that they are showing you as an issue. Then you need to make sure you put it in a log and assign those corrective actions to specific people. You put their names in the logs, and then you put down the date that you told them, the date that they corrected it, and exactly what they did. You've got to hold people accountable. And then if you are the PCQI or you are the certified food protection manager in a retail establishment, it is your job to follow up, to verify. You need to be monitoring that everyone is doing what they say they do, that everyone is following those processes and procedures that you all are writing. And if your facility changes, your needs change, your processes change, that you are making those changes in those SOPs. Because in the end, if something should happen, like the delicious boar's head, okay, the Listeria at boar's head, and you have to make corrections, you want to show that the issue wasn't on you. You don't want to show that your team failed to do what they needed to do, because in the end, your business is going to go. People want to trust you. And if they don't, if your name goes across those TV screens saying you had an issue, your facility wasn't clean, you are causing listeria or some other food-borne illness outbreak, you're probably going to suffer. And I don't want that for you. So take my advice. Make sure you assess all of your processes, and then make sure you get a coach or a consultant to help you where you have gaps. I am always available with my team from the Paperwork Chef, and we would love to talk to you. So, thanks for joining us for this Manage It Monday, and we will see you next week.